Dooby dooby doo, where are you? We got some work to do now.
Hey, hey! Welcome to Half the Battle. Well, we're finally finishing this. We're at the end.
Today, we're taking a look at Amusement Park of Terror, the last part of the Revenge of Cobra miniseries. And note that the episode is called Amusement Park of Terror, not The Amusement Park of Terror, which is kinda weird.
But first, the briefest of recaps.
Cobra invented the Weather Dominator. It exploded, Weather went nuts. Joes and Cobra have to find the pieces. But at the end of the last episode, Zartan went into business for himself, took the final piece and plans to sell it to the highest bidder. Also, some Joes were gonna get buried in ice.
And now the conclusion.
The solution to the avalanche is shooting it with lasers.
What?
Wouldn't that just drown them in water? Or if the temperature is high enough, surround them with superheated steam?
Either way, they should be dead.
But no, they're in an ice dome and Lady J gets them out with, what else? A javelin. With a huge diamond on top of it. You know, I would have loved to have been in the room when Hawk had talks with the Pentagon about his budget. General, why do you need such a big diamond? Why do you need a diamond at all? Well, maybe one day my troops will get encased in ice or something. Meanwhile, Zartan has made his way to Bayou World, an abandoned amusement park.
Wait a minute.
Villain who's a master of disguise? Amusement park? Holy crap, Zartan would be the ideal Scooby-Doo villain. And he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling Joes. He makes his demands to both sides, but this allows them to pin down his location, so everybody's racing to get there.
Cobra Commander handles it well.
I must wait.
Meanwhile, Duke and Snake Eyes are still stuck in an Atari 2600.
We've got to reverse the polarity.
What, are you in Star Trek now?
On the low. Ready for a ride?
Phrasing.
So she does a pole dance, I guess, and short circuits to Tron Cobras. Zartan learns he's about to get his ass whooped, so he prepares his defenses. Meanwhile, and expect me to say meanwhile a lot, they crammed quite a bit into this final episode. Storm Shadow is sent to G.I.Joe HQ to steal their component.
Sleeping gas.
Sleeping gas throwing stars. Sure, why not? And now you know where Mission Impossible got that idea from. Meanwhile, back at the park, Cobra are the first to strike, while the Joes prefer to sneak in. Zartan's response is, unconventional to say the least.
Giddy cars.
For this part of the episode, the role of Zartan will be played by the Joker. Without realizing it, Cobra provides the distraction the Joes need to destroy the power plant, shutting off all the defenses. With both the Joes and Cobras closing in, Zartan decides to GTFO with the component, though I'm not sure how he's powering all that when his plant just blew up.
Maybe he's got a generator or something, I don't know.
Whee! The Dreadnoks get away, but Zartan isn't so lucky as Destro captures him and the component.
Remove him.
Hey look! Major Blood turns into a Cobra Trooper here.
Animation errors. No episode is complete without them.
Back at Cobra Temple, the captured Joes are just, wandering around until they get into the sewers, where Duke plants a homing device. The Joes pick up the signal and head out. Hey, wait a minute. Duke's been a prisoner for like the entire miniseries, and they never checked him for stuff like this?
You know what? Cobra deserves to lose.
They have all the parts now and are putting the Weather Dominator together. Also, Cobra Commander is uncharacteristically kind.
Punishment is the price for failure,
But he stole the laser core.
which I now have.
This is just to keep the internal conflict between Zartan and Destro going, isn't it? Roadblock and Co. raid the storage room with the creeper vines. Yeah, remember those from way earlier? And so the final battle is upon us. The Joes versus the Weather Dominator. Wait, isn't that how this whole thing started?
Control it!
Ship too heavy from ice and snow buildup.
So the Joes are fighting, weather, and seeing Shipwreck actually in the back of the Sky Striker with Lady J is a nice callback to when he tried to do that earlier.
Flint must be thrilled about that.
They're no match for the Dominator, so it's clear they'll need some inside help, which promptly shows up. As an aside, I did briefly wonder why they didn't just shoot at the Weather Dominator, but then I remembered that's how we got into this mess in the first place.
Cobra's elite troops, everybody.
Also, apparently they're the only two guys guarding the command center, as Roadblock can just run up to the Dominator's base and plant the vines. And the bad guys are all of a sudden thankful this isn't a Japanese cartoon. How would turning invisible help? Vines don't have eyes! And they're clever as they managed to shut down the Weather Dominator. And with the weather no longer being dominated, Cobra's conventional forces are no match for the Joes. In a last-ditch effort, they try lowering the tempo, though I'm not sure how that would help. They'd still know where they are. Also, looks like Cobra's getting screwed. In an impressive bit of animation, Flint prevents the sinking. And with that, the battle is won and Cobra Commander is captured again, though Destro and Zartan get away. Nice of them not to unmask him then and there, isn't it? So the day is saved and they use the Dominator to fix all the weather going haywire around the world. And that was Amusement Park of Terror, and indeed, that was the revenge of Cobra.
Cobra didn't really get that much revenge, did they?
So, was this a good finale? I'd say yes, though they did cram an awful lot into one episode. We did spend some time at the park, but it would have been better if the whole episode was about that. A tense three-way battle in an unusual environment, with high stakes. I would have made a 6th episode for the things Duke and Co got up to in the final battle.
Now, for most of this series, I haven't talked that much about the animation.
That's because it was mostly fine, the occasional inevitable error notwithstanding. In this last episode though, the quality took a nosedive. I mean, just look at this. Was this because it was the last episode and they ran out of time and or budget? In that case, 6 episodes, and thus a bigger budget, would have been a solution once again.
As for my thoughts on the overall series...
Well, it was a fun story and introduced a lot of iconic characters to the cartoon, like Zartan, Lady J, Storm Shadow, and of course fan favorite Shipwreck, so that's all good. We can't deny the plot was a complete rehash of the first miniseries, The Mastifies, though. Cobra has a powerful weapon, both sides search the globe for components while showing off new toys.
Having said that...
The story was still entertaining, and they added variety with Zartan's betrayal and the Joes not trying to build their own Dominator. Overall, I can recommend you watch the entire series, you'll have a fun time. Okay, we finally wrapped up the Revenge of Cobra.
What's next for the cartoon reviews? I haven't decided yet. Let me know what you want to see in the comments below. Just check my channel to see if I haven't already reviewed it. I have done a lot of these. Well, I'll see you next time, everybody. And hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing.
Dooby dooby doo, where are you? We got some work